right now, grab a seat. Let's find some flexibility and mobility in that stiff body of yours. All right, we're going to be all seated today. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Let's start. Have a seat on your mat. Have a seat, however, is comfortable for you. I'm glad you're here. Maybe you're seated with bent knees onto your heels. Maybe, I'm going to take Sukhasana. You probably could have guessed that. Maybe you send your legs long. Whatever you do, you just do what's right for your body. Sukhasana, what is that? That is sitting cross-legged, bringing one leg up on top of the other, resting into your knees, using a block if you want, and slipping it under a knee. Maybe that feels good. All right, so I'm going to sit in this Sukhasana pose. If it just doesn't cut it for you, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. It's your yoga. You're going to do this your way. Maybe you sit crisscross applesauce, as the kids used to say. Or maybe your legs are straight and you just put a little bit of a bend in them. It's all good. All right. In your Sukhasana pose, I brought one foot up on top. Maybe you bring the second one up too. It's your yoga. Make it work for you. First thing we're going to do is lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5, whatever. What are you feeling? Give it a number and let's start the practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Close your eyes. Just get into your mat. Just get into your space. Be comfortable. Feel grounded. Close your eyes. And this is an hour-long practice. Breathe deeply, maybe in through your nose, a deep breath in, and a big sighing breath out. Just give yourself this time. All right, so what are we all about? We practice every single day. We practice every day live, but you can watch the recordings on Facebook and YouTube. This is just like an in-person class. We've got no cuts, no starts, no finishes. It's all live, just like a real class. But the better part of it is it's in the privacy of your own home. You have no commute, no judgment, no egos to deal with, and no competition. Take a deep breath in and a sighing breath out. Feel your shoulders go down. Maybe hands are on your knees. Be aware of your breath. Soften in the jaws. Eyes are closed as you focus inward. We're softening up in the hips. We're going to do a lot with the hips today to work you toward our peak pose, which will be a hero's pose. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. When you practice at home, you're using your props. You're doing it on your time. Biggest thing is it's your body. Don't hurt it. If something hurts, don't do it. Back out of it. You don't want anything to hurt. And if it's just uncomfortable, use your breath, breathe through it. And like I always say, it doesn't matter how a pose looks. What matters is how it feels for you. Big breath in. Big breath out. You are calm. You are at peace. This is your time on your mat. All right, let's work on our necks a little bit. We hold so much tension in our shoulders and our necks. Start to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. You can keep your eyes closed for all of this. Send your shoulders back. Ooh, feel your chest open up. That feels nice. And then soften your shoulders. So do a couple shrugs of the shoulders up to the ears, good and tight. To the back of the room. And soften them on down. Rest your shoulders, calm, peaceful, and just turn your head left to right, right to left. Just turn your head. Plain and simple, you can do that, right? Maybe you keep your eyes open, maybe that feels better. And if you're doing it with the eyes open, do a little bit of eye yoga too. Move your eyes left to right. When you look to the right, send your eyes far back right. When you look to the left, send your gaze far back to the left. Or maybe eyes closed. And as I said, just feel what you feel. Head back to the midline of your body. Real simple movement here too. Chin to chest. Chin up, up, up toward the sky. How does it feel? Get comfortable with your neck. Last little possible movement for the neck here. If you want, bring your head back to stillness. Lengthen up. Think of a really long neck here, crown of your head up to the sky. If you like, do some neck circles, like you're drawing a circle on the front wall with your nose. Eyes can be closed or open. And then little circles with your neck in the other direction. You got a good head on your shoulders. Move it and find flexibility there. Embrace those little crunchies in your neck. As long as they don't hurt, you're okay. But if it hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. As you figured out, today's yoga is all seated, but other days are different. Every day is different. Every day of the week we do something different. Come check us out and, make it work for you. And I guarantee you're going to feel better when you're done. All right, so lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. Now maybe find a block or no block at all. Totally fine. You don't need it. Arms lift up high to the sky. And then go to one side or the other. I'm going to go to the right side. I'm going to let my left arm come. I'm going to go to the right side. I'm going to let my right arm come down to the block, and I'm going to rest the forearm on it. I'm going to reach through my left fingertips. I'm going to bring my top shoulder back and my chin away from my chest, and I'm going to hang out here. Take some deep breaths. Big breath in. And big breath out. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Feel the nice big stretch all up your left side. You can do this. Yes, you can. Don't get hung up on the I can'ts. Don't get hung up on, oh, that's just not right. I just can't do it. Don't get hung up on that. Do what you can. Maybe reaching too far is too far, so adjust your block if you got it. If you don't have a great block, just place your hand on your mat and use your elbow as a little elevator to find what works for you today. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Maybe eyes are closed. That top knee, drive it on down closer to the earth. Just feel the depth of this good stretch. Do what you can with what you got, but just move. Move forward and just move on. Come back to your breath, big breaths. Reach a little more. And then slowly bring it on back up to center. Send both arms up to the sky, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up in the shoulders. And we got another side to do, the left side. Bring the block over to the side. Maybe place the forearm on it. Lift your other arm high to the sky. And then reach to the left side of your body. Ooh, stretch it out. Ooh, coming into this side. Feels tighter than when we left the other side, doesn't it? Because you stretched it out. Reach through the fingertips. Soften in the arm. Use the block or don't use the block. You can use that elevator arm of yours. Breathe in. Breathe out. Intentional, slow yoga breathing encourages relaxation and reduces stress. It makes you calmer. Breathe in. Breathe out. We have a word to think about today. The word yesterday was mindful. Today it's very similar, mindfulness, right? Reach through your fingers. Breathe. Mindfulness. Okay, remember yesterday we said it was being attentive and being aware. I'm going to add to that today too, just being careful. Being careful. If something hurts, don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Find new levels, new depths of your stretch as you're mindful of how your body feels. All this week as we're practicing, I just want you to come back to noticing your thoughts, guide them back to positive things, accepting things, and just believing that you can succeed. You got this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nice big stretch. And then slowly, let's come on back. Up, up, up. Place your hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let's walk our hands forward. You could use your block if you want. If you don't have the block, no big deal. Just place your hands on the ground or on the block and push the block forward. Big breath in. And big breath out. Taking it slowly today. It's that kind of day. Wednesdays, we're typically all seated on the ground. Other days we do other things, restorative, vinyasa. We even incorporate weights and Pilates and bar in our practice. Check us out every day. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you hollow out your belly, bring your belly button back towards your spine. Reach a little farther to the front of the room. Let it go, let it go, let it go. You got it. Soften in your hips. And slowly bring the block or your fingers back on up so your shoulders are over your hips. Bring your hands slightly behind you. Send your chest, your gaze up to the sky. And I'm going to say hello to my friends. Betty, Tyrone, Tammy, Esther, Stan, Marietta, Kelly, Tina, Rena, Ron, Roger, Sylvia. Glad you're here. Look up to the sky. And then let it go. Come back, shoulders over your hips. Time for a big hug. Tee out your arms. Nice big hug. One arm crosses over the other. Fingers towards your spine. Soften in your shoulders. Send your strong shoulders to the sides of the room. Breathe in. Breathe out. Other side. Tee out your arms. Open them nice and good and big and wide to prepare for a hug on the other side. Cross the other arm on top. Hug. Hug tightly. Soften in the shoulders. Big, strong hug. You really feel that. All right, nice work. Nice work in the hug. Nice work in the hips. Softened up here. Feel how you feel in the hips, and let's switch it out. Other side. All right, just move your legs. I don't know how you've been seated. Switch it out. Maybe you had your legs crisscrossed. Crisscross them in the other side. Crisscross them the other way. Maybe you've had them extended long with an ankle over the other. Switch it to the other side. I'm going to bend my knees generously. I'm going to bring my other foot up on top, giving my hips equal time. I'm going to notice, just observe here in the beginning, it's a lot tighter than when we come out of it. So let's hang out here for a moment. Hands onto your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep shoulder softening breath out. No tension in those shoulders. Remember how we shrugged them? Let's do it again. Maybe one shoulder at a time, maybe both up to your ears, good and tight. Then send them back and down. Just move your shoulders because you can. Maybe wiggle it out a little bit. It's just yoga. It's no big deal. It's movement. It's movement to make you feel better in your mind, your body, and your soul. Hands to your knees. Eyes closed. Big breath in. Big breath out. Remember how we worked on the neck on the other side? We're going to work on the neck on this side too. I'll talk you through it. Keep your eyes closed if you like. All right, so we're going to begin by lifting the left arm up to the sky. Bend the left elbow. Reach your fingertips to the top of your right ear. So your hand is over the top of your head. Touch your ear. And then encourage your left ear to your left shoulder using your strong hand, your strong arm. The opposite shoulder, the right shoulder, keep it down. Soften in your jaws. Breathe in, breathe out. Take this moment, feel what you feel. You should be feeling a nice big stretch on the entire right side of your neck. Use your hand, use your strength. Do what's right. Soften in the eyebrows, soften in the shoulders. Let those neck muscles feel the lengthening, the strengthening. Let's finish. Slowly remove your hand and slowly bring your head back up to the midline of your body. Hands down to your knees. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up. And a deep breath out, settle your shoulders. Other side, lift your right arm up to the sky. Bend that elbow with your fingertips. Touch the top of your left ear. And encourage your right ear to your right shoulder while your left shoulder softens. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, you do what you can with what you got. Don't let anything hurt. If it's uncomfortable, just breathe through it, and you've got time here. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then slowly let your hand come away from the ear. Let your head slowly come back up to the midline of your body. Hands down on your knees, deep breath in. And deep shoulder softening breath out. Let the hips relax, let the knees melt toward the earth. Maybe find your block. And when you're ready, let's do some gentle side bends. Bring your block to one side or the other. I'm going to bring it to my right side. Let my hand come onto it. Remember, no block is fine too. You got that elevator elbow. You can do this. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Let it cross over the midline of your body. I'm gonna rest my forearm on my block. Then I'm gonna reach through my left fingertips toward the side of the room. Chin away from the chest, and that top shoulder, the left shoulder, bring it back. Feel the deep stretch all up your left side. I feel it from my glutes, up through my ribs and those intercostal muscles, up through the armpit, lengthening the arm. Soften in your jaws and your shoulders. Maybe eyes stay closed. As you just focus on how this feels. Nothing else matters right now. It's how it feels. Just a couple more breaths and then we'll switch to the other side. So really make it work for you. Slowly, 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 come on back up to the midline. Take it really slowly. It just wouldn't feel right if you did it fast, I don't think. All right, hands down to your knees. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Switch your block maybe to your other side or no block at all, totally fine. Plant the opposite hand. I'm going to plant my left hand, lift my right arm to the sky, crisscross the midline of the body, shoulder back, chin up. Come into it as deeply as feels right. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Reach a little farther. Think of all those muscles in between your ribs. Think of them just kind of spreading and opening and finding their full potential. Reach. Check in with your chin. Check in with your top shoulder. And then finish. Slowly come on back up to the midline. Hands to your knees. Big breath in. Big breath out. Shoulders are soft. Oh, don't you have mobility there? Shake your shoulders a little bit. Move them this way and that because you can find fluidity in the shoulders. Now, arms can reach forward on a block or not. Reach the arms forward. And you know what? Let go of your expectations. Don't come into this practice thinking, oh, today I've got to do this, I got to do that. Just let go of expectations and let your body move. Maybe reach your fingers a little farther or not. Gaze down toward your ankles or your belly button. Big breath in. Maybe a little more reach. Big breath out. Slowly slide your hands closer to your body, bringing your shoulders over your hips. Bring your arms behind you and lift your chest up to the sky. Chin up to the sky too. Take your time, no hurry today. Bring your shoulders over your hips, tee out your arms. Nice big hug. So arms are teed out. You know how to do the big hug. All right, as we're talking about mindfulness this whole week, softening the shoulders, big hug. Emotions, your emotions. Emotions are like muscle memory. We always go back to that same old groove, that same old rut of thinking and feeling a particular way about a particular thing. Shoulders are squeezed to the side of the room. Get out of those emotional ruts that trap you. Okay, open up your arms again. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big hug on the other side, other arm on top, fingers towards your spine, shoulders down, and then shoulders squeeze. Shoulders expand to the side of the room. You know, you got to move your body to reset your emotions. Sounds silly, doesn't it? But you feel better after you move. And that's what we've done. That's what we're doing. All right, big squeeze, big hug. Release it, let it go. How are your hips feeling? Pretty intense. We've kept the mind kind of on the shoulders, the arms, the big hug, and your legs, your hips have been relaxing here. You haven't had your mind off it. They're nice and stretched out. Let's prove it to ourselves by coming out of this pose and going into a wide-legged child's pose. How does that sound? All right, let's come out of this. Come to your knees. And let's do that wide-legged child's pose. All right, knees spread wide, big toes touch, hips back to your heels. Oh, this is gonna feel good in your bottom. You know, if you prefer, you could do the classic child's pose, but I think this feels really good because of the position that we were just in. But you can have your knees together or widely spread apart. Big toes are touching. Arms can be down by your sides if your knees are together, or if your knees are apart, reach your arms long to the top of the mat. You could put a block under your forehead or no block at all. Reach your fingers in your wide-legged child's pose. Hands, press them into your mat and send your hips back a little bit more. Feel that. Maybe bring your forearms down to the mat. Or straighten the arms and slide the mat further forward. You decide what feels good in your spine today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your fingers pop up onto your fingertips, and we sometimes say spider walk. So think of your fingers as spiders and walk your fingers to the right side of your mat. Walk them even further, maybe off the mat, and then settle your palms down. Send your hips back to your heels. Nice big stretch up your side. Pop back up onto your fingertips and spider walk them back to the midline. Big breath in here, big breath out, and then spider walk your fingers to the left side of your mat or further, whatever feels good in the right side of your body. Hips are back and down. Feel the nice stretch in your armpit. Breathe in, breathe out. Spider walk your fingers back to the midline and take a big cycle of breath. Walk your hands back to underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees a little more back in, and let's do a toes pose. You can use your blocks in several ways. Come up to standing on your knees. Tuck your toes towards your shins. If you'd like to stay in a toes pose, you can bring a block behind your heels or not and have a seat here. Sit into a deep stretch in your toes. I'm going to take the blocks by my side at a high height by my thighs and press into them. I'm going to rest into my toes. Rest, rest, rest into your toes. Don't hold any tension there. Let it be. Stretch out the toes. You can stay here if you want, or I'm going to take it to its counter pose and ankle pose. I'm going to bring the blocks forward, come onto the tops of my feet, and then I'm going to use the blocks to push the ground away, and I'm going to pop on up to the tops of my feet and stretch out my ankles. Now you can stay in your toes pose for a breath or two and then come into your ankle pose, or you can alternate back and forth a couple of times. I'm going to alternate back and forth maybe 3 times, and I'm just going to really try to find the depth of the pose each time. Settling into the toes, settling into my shoulders, then doing the ankle pose again, tops of the feet on the mat, pushing the earth away, popping up onto the tops of my feet. And you know, you don't have to use the blocks. You know that if you don't use them, you're challenging your balance a little bit here. Totally fine. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer center as I just draw inward and find peace. One more time. For me, I don't know which variation you want to take. I hope you're doing what feels right for you today. Breathe in, breathe out. Settle in to the toes, feel the depth of the stretch. I'm going to come back to my ankle pose for just a moment. And if the balance thing isn't quite working, use your hands, place them on the mat. You still get the great stretch in the toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Knees come down, come back up to a neutral tabletop, shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle the ankles, then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Bring your shoulders over your hips, standing on your knees, little brief camel pose. Hands to your low back, palms on your low back, fingers pointing down, squeeze your shoulders towards your spine, send your belly forward, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, soften in your glutes, push your hips more forward, maybe look up right overhead as if a raindrop were going to hit you right between the eyes. Breathe in, chest lifts, breathe out, soften in your hips. Repeat. Breathe in, your chest lifts. Breathe out, soften in your hips, push them more forward, breathe. And then let's finish slowly. Bring your shoulders up over your hips. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do cat-cow. This is for your spine. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Press your hands, fingers spread wide into the mat. Lengthen through your spine. Think of your spine as nice and long and straight and flat. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Tuck your chin to your chest. Tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, cow. Just the opposite. Tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts. Do a couple of cat-cows. Your pace of breath. Push the earth away with all 4 limbs. Inhale, cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift. How does it feel for you? I know in cat-cow, I always wish I could tuck it just a little bit more. And in cow, I always wish, I could lift my tailbone just a little bit more. Really accentuate it. Really try. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Let's lengthen the spine a little bit more. Come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your right leg up, knee to hip height. Extend the leg long. Draw the toes of the right foot toward the shin. Leg is extended, long and strong. Maybe add in the left arm. Push hard into your right hand and your left knee and reach through the left fingertips. Reach, stretch, find length in your spine. Your gaze is down, kind of toward your right thumb. Reach, lengthen a little bit more. Come on, you've got the length. We did some really good side bends this morning. Reach, stretch a little bit more. Stretch through the armpit, stretch through the ribs. Hold it. And then finish, hand down, knee down, other side. Left leg lifts, knee to hip height. Leg extends, toes drawn toward the shin, so you feel like that heel is going to touch that back wall. Add in the right arm if you like. Stretch, reach, find length. You got lots of length in your spine. Reach, push the earth away. Reach your fingers just a little bit more. Breathe. Stretch. And finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Let's do a broken wing pose. All right, for the broken wing, you're really going to get into your shoulders. Come down to your belly. I'm going to start with my right arm. I'm going to tee out my right arm, bringing my hand and elbow to about shoulder height on the right side. I'm going to come onto my right cheek of my face. I'm going to roll over onto my right hip. Left elbow is bent, and the left hand is going to be kind of by my collarbones. I'm going to press into the left hand. Right arm is extended. How does it feel? Legs are long. Stretch out the right shoulder. Put a little bend in your knees if that feels better. And there are variations of this that we sometimes take. Today we're going to take this nice basic pose. The left hand is the key here. Press into it and feel the goodness in that right shoulder. You can put a little bend in your right elbow if that feels better too. Broken wing. Breathe in, breathe out. Use that left hand. What feels good? Maybe push a little more or not. Let's do the other side. All right, roll back onto your belly. This time you're going to tee out the left arm. Palm is down. Bend the right arm and place the right arm underneath your collarbone. Roll onto your left hip. Left arm is extended. Right arm, you're pushing it into the ground. Feeling the nice stretch in the left shoulder. Little bend in your knees might feel right. Maybe one shoulder has more mobility than the other. Just notice it. Don't judge it. Just notice it. And try to work toward equilibrium in the body. You don't want a stronger side to keep getting stronger because then the weaker side will keep getting weaker. Work them both. Just observe what's going on because you're a work in progress. We all are. All right, nice stretch in the shoulder. Let's finish up. Come back down to your stomach. Bring your hands underneath your collarbones. Slowly press on up. This is seal pose. Press on up. Feel the compression in your low back, but soften in your glutes as you do this. Press into the earth. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let's go back to our hips. Come on back to a wide-legged child's pose. Spread your knees even wider than you did before. Maybe they're even off of the mat. Big toes touching, hips back to your heels. Reach your arms long and strong to the top of your mat. Settle on down. Stretch it on out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slide your hands even farther forward. Let's finish. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Send your legs long, and let's do a seated, wide-legged forward fold. We're doing a lot with the hips today, and you'll see why when we get to that hero's pose. All right, legs spread wide. Use your hands. Maybe even spread them wider. You got the blocks, perhaps, in between your legs. And just rest here for a second. Bring your forearms maybe down to the blocks. Set them up. Whatever height works. Use these tools. However works. Maybe you decide to bring your forehead down to the blocks. Maybe a little bend in your knees feels right. Breathe in, breathe out. And here's a good thing that we say sometimes. Maybe bring your forehead closer to the block. Rest it, maybe adjust the height of the blocks. Choose purpose over perfection. Remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like, and don't think, oh, the perfect pose is having my head on the ground. Nope. Choose purpose over perfection. The purpose here is to open up through your hips, to open up those inner thighs. That's the purpose. Maybe you achieve your purpose by having your blocks stacked up nice and high, or by having your forearms on the blocks. Remember, it doesn't matter how it looks. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, just to prove to yourself, maybe take your hands down by your ankles. Maybe you can open up your legs just a little teeny bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe through the discomfort, because you got it. All right, slowly bring your head, your shoulders up off of your blocks. Let's bring our legs together. And let's get back into the hips. Again, I'm going to grab a drink of water. We're going to come into a bound goddess pose before we do our Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. All right, here's the deal. We'll bring your strap up by your shoulders too. Bend your knees. Come to reclined on your back. Open up your knees to the side of the room, and then bring the soles of your feet together to touch. I don't know how wide your knees open. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. It's up to you. Now your arms, your shoulders. Your shoulders are down on your mat. Take your arms. Bring your biceps and triceps, your upper part of your arm, bring the elbow up at shoulder height, so your upper arm is perpendicular to the sides of your mat. Let your forearms be parallel to the side of your mat as your arms are cactused out. Breathe in, breathe out, soften in your glutes. Stay right here if you wish. Lots of alternatives, right? I'm going to do those Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my elbows even more, bringing my fingertips lightly to my temples. I'm going to keep my elbows down, though, so my chest is nice and opened. When you're ready to take an exhale, let your chin lift up, let your shoulders lift up, let your elbows lift up, but keep the elbows back and down. And then come on down all the way. Lift up, but drive those elbows toward the earth, and then come on down. Up on the exhale, down on the inhale. No rush, no hurry, you've got this. Exhale up. Inhale down. Let your chin be going up, up, up to the sky. Come all the way down. Maybe you're still in your goddess pose. That's fine. I'm going to come into a bicycle pose. I'm going to take it kind and gentle today. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet onto my mat. I'm going to lift my knees up over my hips. I'm going to hold them right here. I'm going to bring my shins parallel to the earth, arms down by my sides, or maybe you want to kind of snow angel them out or tee them out. I don't know what feels good for you. I'm going to draw my toes toward my shins, and I'm going to bicycle here, keeping my shoulders down, and I'm going to drive through my heels, and I'm going to bring my knee up close to my chest, and then I'm going to extend the other leg super long. Breathe. Just a different variation. Every day we do something different, because different works together to make us the best we can be. Breathe in, breathe out, pedal it out, take it nice and slowly. And when you're ready, let's finish here. Hug your knees in, hands underneath your knees. Hug them in good and tight, elbows hugged in too. Rock a little bit from side to side. Give your low back a little bit of a treat with this massage. All right. Maybe keep your knees up. Remove your hands. Find that strap, which hopefully you brought up close to your shoulders. And then place the strap underneath your feet for today's variation of boat. Send your legs high up to the sky. Hold on to the strap like reins of a horse. Draw your toes towards your shins and draw your elbows towards your ribs. As you're ready, hold on to the strap, but let the heels melt toward the earth. As you do that, peel on up in the shoulders. Take it nice and slow. Try not to have momentum bring you up. Try to have the strength in your arms and your core bring you up. Hug your elbows in, shoulders back and down. Drive through the heels. Hold here in your boat pose. So sit back like you're in a recliner. Hold on. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your core is strong. Your belly is strong. The strap is a great addition, isn't it? Yesterday we did it without the strap. Some days we do it with the strap. Some days we do it without the strap. It's all good. Breathe. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Sit back a little bit more in the shoulders. Hold on. You got it. Keep holding it. You know, maybe for you, a little bit of a bend in the knees might feel better. I don't know. Some days I like that. Some days I like to straighten the legs. Just play with it and know that it's an option for you. Anything to make it doable that doesn't hurt is a good option. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, let's slowly, chest is lifted, slowly bring your heels down. Do it slowly. You got the strap for control. Heels slowly down. Nice. Shoulders are up over your hips. Let's walk our hands down both straps and just fold forward here. Little bend in your knees might feel right. Walk your hands down the strap. Breathe in and then let everything go. Imagine folding your body in half like a paper clip. Breathe in and let it go. Breathe in and let it go again. That's life, right? Taking it in and letting it go. The ups and the downs. Couple more breaths. Feel the goodness up your back thighs. Breathe in, breathe out. And then let's release this strap. Slowly come back up, shoulders over your hips. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. All right, legs, they're long. Crisscross at the ankles. Lengthen up through the arms. Reach the arms super far forward. Reach, reach, reach. Ankles are crossed. Reach, reach, reach. Come on back up. Hands go high. Stretch out your armpits. Crisscross the ankles in the other direction. Length, strength, it's yours. Reach forward. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward. Oh, low back feels great. Reach. Arms go back up high to the sky. Let your legs be long, lengthen up. Now reach forward again. This time reach for your feet, your ankles, your calves, whatever you can reach, but keep your elbows tucked in. Elbows are in by the sides of your knees. Look down towards your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen and forward. Finish. Come on up, shoulders over your hips, back to the hips. Hips, hips, hips. It's all about the hips. Come on up to standing on your knees. Take your 2 blocks. Let's surf. Take your 2 blocks by your side. You're standing on your knees. Send your right foot forward, knee over ankle. Left leg goes long. Put a towel under your left knee if that feels better. Top of your left foot on your knee. The blocks are here to help you push that leg back. You want to feel a big stretch in your left hip flexor. Come on up, shoulders over your hip. Interlace your fingers. Put your interlaced fingers, hands, that makes sense. Put it on your right thigh. Push your right thigh forward, letting the knee of the right leg come forward of the ankle. Feel the big stretch in your left hip flexor. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it go, let it feel fabulous. Release your hands, place them back on your blocks, start to surf. What does that mean? Just straighten the right leg and then rebend it. Keep your hands on your blocks today and keep the blocks right where they are. Send your hips back towards your heels as you straighten the leg, and then bring the bent knee forward of the right ankle. And maybe even bring your hips all the way back to your left heel, but keep your hands on the blocks as best you can. Maybe you got to adjust them a little bit, but find the length and the stretch through the arms. And then let's finish. Come back up to standing so both knees are on your mat. Bring your left foot forward. Knee over ankle for now for strength and stability. Press into your blocks. Right leg goes super long on your mat. Think of your toes going back even a wee bit farther. You're on your knee. Put a towel under it if that feels better. Stay right here. Hands on the blocks if you like, if that's enough. Maybe come on up, shoulders over the hips, interlace your fingers, press into your left thigh. Gaze forward, maybe close your eyes. But just focus on the feeling in your right hip. Oh my goodness, the strength and the stretch. You're giving it. Keep your balance. If you fall out, so what? Everybody falls out. Breathe. A little bit more maybe. Hands back to the blocks, glue them to the blocks. Start to surf, left leg straightens and bends. Straightens and bends. You know how far feels good for you. I'm going to bring my hips further back. I'm going to keep my hands on the blocks. I'm going to stretch it out, bringing my bottom back to touch my right heel. Surf it out. It's a hard way to surf, isn't it? Other days we do it other ways. Check us out. Do what you can with what you got. Maybe today's surfing is just a few inches in both directions. It's all good. Make peace with your body. All right, let's finish. Come back to both knees. Place your hands on your low back. Remember that camel pose we did? Push your hips forward, push your belly forward. Elbows squeeze towards your spine. Look up, maybe raindrop between the eyes. And then finish. Let's come on down to our backs. Let's take a brief pentacle pose just so you can enjoy this one. All right, pentacle pose, what is that? Resetting, enjoy the getting here. Come down to your back. Spread your legs wide, spread your arms wide. Look like a capital letter X. Snow angel your arms, bringing them down a little bit if it doesn't feel good in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Just let it go. This is a resetting posture. Everything's realigned back to the midline of your fabulous body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Legs together at the midline of your body. Bend your right knee. Supine twist. Interlace your fingers. Hug underneath the right knee. Left leg is long. Toes of the left foot drawn up toward the shin. Left calf down. Circle your right ankle this way and that. Hug the right knee in even more. Maybe stay right here or do the twist part. Left hand holds onto the right knee. Cross the midline of your body. Right arm tees out. Look to the right. Encourage this twist. Slowly bring the right hip back down to the ground. Hug the right knee in again. Maybe ankle circle time again. Right leg goes long on your mat. Drag your left heel up. Interlaced fingers underneath the left knee. Right leg is long and straight. Hug the right knee in. Circle the ankle of the left foot. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body. Tee out your left arm. Look to the left. Left hip comes down, gaze goes back up, circle the ankle again. Both legs go long, drag both heels up, let both knees fall to the right, tee out your arms, look to the left. Knees come up, gaze goes up, let both knees fall to the other side of the body and look in the opposite direction. Knees come back up, arms go down by your sides, push into your hips, lift them up. In a bridge pose. Come on down, roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Come on up to seated. Find a block. Bend your knees and have a seat on the block behind your bottom. So knees are spread a little bit. Your heels, the inside of your ankles, are by that block. That block gets hidden back there. All right, have a seat on your block. Stay right here. Breathe in. Breathe out, keep your knees down. All right, not bad. Let's remove the block. Remove the block and have a seat between your heels. Now, it's a big transition. If it doesn't work, go back to the block and use your hands as little kickstands and lift your chest up to the sky. No problem at all using the block. I'm going to remove the block and I'm going to walk my hands back. I'm going to keep my knees down, walk my hands back, and then come to recline. Come to recline here, coming down onto your forearms, maybe coming all the way down to your back. Keep your knees down, inside of the ankles by the hips. Here's your hero's pose. Maybe lift your arms up to the sky, maybe bend the elbows, reach for opposite elbow creases. Hold on here. Breathe in and breathe out. This is your hero's pose at its fullest expression. Sitting on the block is fine. Walking the hands back and using the elevator elbows is fine. You do what works for you. Let's come out of this pose now by bringing our arms down by our sides, wiggling our shoulders together and walking back up with the hands, coming out of your hero's pose and coming into your final Shavasana. All right, I'm going to take a combination final Shavasana gentle fish. If you want to do final Shavasana, completely lie down on your back, arms down by your sides, legs slightly spread, and relax. I'm going to take the blocks and place them at the medium height. Like the letter T, horizontal block at top for my head, vertical block for my shoulders. Grab your eye shade and your towel, maybe cover your eyes. I'm going to recline on this first block. You don't want it too low, you want it between your shoulders. If it's too low, move it. Keep your bottom on your mat. Bring your head onto that top horizontal block. Cover your eyes with the eye shade or the towel. It's nice to block out the world, even if it's just for a few minutes. Legs long, arms by your sides. Options are to bend your knees, soles of your feet on your mat, or open up your knees wide to the sides, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch. If you want to get back into your hips yet again, take a breath in, and a deep breath out, let it go. Soften the area between your eyebrows. whichever variation of final Shavasana that you're in, maybe this little fish variation, or a complete and total traditional final Shavasana. Deepen your breath and allow your body to relax. A prop that you perhaps have nearby is your remote control. You can press the pause button and stay here longer if that's what your body wants, and listen to it. You know, stay here for a few minutes. If it is time for you to get on with your day, you can start to come out of your pose any way you like, but try with the extremities to start to wiggle them. If you're in that fish pose, you can send your legs long, wiggle your toes, circle your ankles, your fingers, your wrists. Take a big stretch by reaching high overhead. Take a big good morning stretch. If you're on that block, it's a special treat. Ooh, breathe. You know what? Maybe in our Thursday, Sunday class, we'll do a fish pose on the bolster for longer. So check us out. Try that. I think you'll like it because this fish pose is so great for opening your chest. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Bend your elbows, roll off your blocks or roll onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Breathe in, breathe out. Savor this moment, savor the breath. And then slowly, as you're ready, when you're ready, press on up using your hands or not to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you today. I'm going to crisscross my legs. Put your hands at prayer center. In gratitude, just gratitude for your body, for what it did for you. Bring your hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften up as you sigh it out. Let it go. Blink your eyes open. And guess what? You did it. It was an hour-long yoga practice. I think it goes by quickly. If you think this goes by quickly, check out a restorative practice. That'll fly by in an amazing way. All right, so your eyes are open. Think back for a moment. What was your stress number when you started, and what is your stress number now? I'm sure it's come down a lot, and I'm sure you got a lot more mobility in your hips, so go for a good long walk today. All right, a little bit of homework. Back to a question I asked you earlier on. What emotional ruts have you carved into your mind that steal you and rob you of time and enjoy the joy of your life? So get out of those emotional ruts. Guide your thoughts back to positivity. From us to you, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. See you on your mats tomorrow. Goodbye. Hello. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Hello, Piper. Connie, how are you? That's a good girl. Good girl. Gotta love the dogs. See ya. Bye. It's not what you think you are that's holding you back. It's what you think you're not that's holding you back. Come on now, you can do your yoga. You know that because you've stuck around, you've done your yoga, you've been doing your yoga faithfully. Good for you. And I hope you're seeing the benefits. I know you're seeing the benefits. Tell your friends about those benefits. Have them join our yoga too. It is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. They can sign in, they can do the yoga live with us, which I think is the most fun, or they can watch it anytime throughout the day. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Come check it out. Come check out your yoga. Tell your friends to check us out and just have a good time. Be all that you can be. See you on your mats tomorrow.